Hello, everybody. We are live. I am so excited today because we have Tequitia Andrews, our newest artist. Welcome, Tequitia.
I'm glad to be here. Hi,
I'm,
Lilla.
I'm so happy you're here. I love the art on the wall. I love your shirt. I think we're kind of like primary accents today. So type in where you are in the chat, everybody. We are going to have a giveaway of one of Tequitia's gorgeous prints and of my newest class, My Toy Pitch. We're going to talk about so many wonderful things today. We're going to look at her gorgeous, gorgeous work. It's going to be very inspiring, I'm sure. So hello, Lynn. Great to see you. Jackie, Tisha, Vicky. We're going to talk about the major she majored in college, which wasn't art, and how she got into the art biz and why, her creative process, about representation and colorism, mental health, self-love, colors, how she gets ideas for her color palettes, and even some parenting tips if we're lucky, if she'll share. And I'll say why she's an expert in a moment. Let me tell you a little bit, and you can see all these wonderful comments. Hello, Sarah Joe. I'm glad you're here. Tequitia, oh, I'm nervous, sorry. Tequitia Andrews is a Richmond, Virginia area artist and illustrator. A sociology major in college, she rediscovered her love for creating art as a way to treat postpartum depression. Sure, many of us can relate to that. Since then, she has dibbled and dabbled into everything, eventually setting on illustration and then getting an agent. So, yay. Her illustrations were featured in Cricket Wireless's National Black History Month campaign, which we will show a picture of in a moment, and on 3 redesigned covers of New York Times bestselling author Rita Williams Garcia's young adult novels published by HarperCollins, released in May. She's also had her illustrations licensed by Fun Folks and Crown Wraps. In addition to being an artist, Tequitia is also a homeschool mom of 5 children, ages 6 to 23. Okay, so I have some questions. So sociology major, not art, but you loved art. Why?
Why was I a sociology major?
Mm-hmm.
Well, when it came to picking my major, I remember distinctly thinking back in high school, like, I don't want to major in art because, you hear the saying, poor artist.
Right.
And so I was like, I don't want to be poor, so I need to go the practical route.
Mm-hmm.
And I initially was an accounting major, but business classes were like very boring to me, so I quickly switched it over to sociology because I was like, well, what else do I like to do? And I like helping people. And so that's where I thought that would lead me into just, learning about people, learning about, different cultures and helping them in some form or another,
And your work really reflects your tuning into the culture at large. It really does. I see that so much. We're going to look at her work in just a moment too. Okay, so you did sociology.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there was a pivotal moment where, and I often reflect on this because, I've been creating art probably since I was 4 or 5, all kids, draw and everything. But I think it was recognized early that, okay, you got a little bit of something going on there. Oh. And when I was in college, and I don't know, I think I drew something for a family member or friend, and they looked at it and they were like, you should change your major to art. I was like, no. No, but I often look back, and that's one of those times where I look back and I'm like, I probably should have, but
Well, apparently you didn't need to. It's
yeah,
all good. It's
yeah,
all good. I mean, look, your work is so beautiful. How do you, so you didn't take life drawing.
no,
So how do you draw people so well? Like it's
practice,
really amazing.
practice, a lot
Okay.
of practice.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that I'm learning now, that that's really what art school does for you, is to create that freedom to practice
Mm-hmm.
those things. Because at the beginning, I felt um, impeded by the fact that I didn't go to art school. So that
Mm-hmm.
kind
Of
of get
course.
down a little bit, because I'm like, that's why I say I would refer back to that decision that I could have changed. And I would say, oh man, if I went to art school, maybe I would know how to draw this. Maybe I would know how to draw that. Maybe I would know how to paint,
Yeah.
this way and that way. But I'm realizing that no matter what, you still have to practice. So
Yeah, it's so true. And I didn't really, my first degree in art school, I didn't learn how to draw. That was the 70s and everything was conceptual. So that was, then when I went back, I did learn drawing stuff, but still, that just, I'm glad I had life drawing, but that was just like a morsel
yeah,
how much one needs to draw to
yeah,
develop their style and to develop, So apparently, I mean, this is really inspiring to people who are watching who didn't go to art school but want to be an
yeah,
artist. I mean, Lisa Congdon, who I repped for a long time, she didn't go to art school. She had like a corporate job
yeah,
and taught herself and just by drawing. So
yeah.
the rest is history.
Well, one book that I read that I think was freeing for me, and I think also helped me with that aspect, was Creative License by Danny Gregory.
Mm.
Because it was just about drawing your life. So it's like drawing the everyday. So I
Mhm.
think that's also what that helped me with drawing people, because I just kind of drew my kids, I drew, my husband, you know, and I didn't get up the courage enough to go out in public a lot, but I would do it occasionally. I would, if I'm at church, I would draw in church, people sitting around and, different poses and stuff like that. So
Mm.
that was the book, I think, that kind of gave me a bigger perspective when it comes to not, you know, um, having the technical skills from the beginning. It was just, just draw. I just thought that I needed to go to art school in order to get that, but it helped me to see that I didn't necessarily have to.
And what was the title of that book?
It's called Creative License
Creative License. It sounds wonderful. Has anyone read that? People, viewers? Sarah Jo says
by
she
Danny
didn't go to,
Gregory.
what's that?
By Danny Gregory.
Oh, Sarah Jo didn't go to art school.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and Tisha says, Sarah Jo's my artist for what, 20 years? Tisha Lee says, my artist says, you totally don't need to go to art school. Yeah. And, we always think, well, if I never went to agent school. I never went to business
Yeah.
school. I never went to like most everything school, but you
Yeah.
figure it out if you're
Yeah, you do.
motivated, you figure it out, you talk to people. I
That's true.
had agents, but
Also, I think homeschooling has taught me that as well, because, I didn't get a teaching degree, but,
oh yeah.
I homeschool my kids, and a lot of it I just learned on my own through, the library was like our best friend. We went there so much, they knew us by name, you
Wow.
know.
Is it a
They
nice library?
yes, yes. And well, the thing
Good.
is, I went to several libraries, because if my library in my city didn't have what I needed, then I would go to the next city. I've paid for, library cards, because I'm like, okay, you have a really good, collection that I could utilize. So it was like, that was our school,
Mm-hmm.
it's just the library. And I did that for them, whatever interest that they had, and I didn't really know a lot about it.
Mhm.
You know, and like my daughter is 22, so this was earlier in the homeschooling days when hardly no one was homeschooling.
Wow.
And
What made
this was before YouTube and
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Yeah, and not much internet.
Yeah.
What made you decide to homeschool?
Well, it was different things, but it was mainly that the schools in our district weren't that great,
Okay.
and so we just thought that it would be better to school them at home, and that's what we did. And I did not have a lot of experience in that. I didn't know very. I only knew of one other family at the time that
Wow.
homeschool. So yeah, this was probably, I don't know, early 2000s,
Yeah.
when we were doing that. And like I said, it was at the time where not many people were homeschooling, because like when we would go out during the day, I would, it I
People
couldn't
were
go
like,
anywhere without someone saying, oh my gosh, are kids out of school today? You know, it's like
right, right.
moms. It's like moms who are working and they're like, oh my gosh, are the kids getting out early today? Is it an off day? And I'm like, no, we homeschool.
Yeah, I remember, I think years ago saying that to somebody too. Oh, I think I was that person. Um, but as your agent, I'm immediately thinking, okay, you must have made content for your kids, and maybe we should talk about parlaying that into some sort of book or
Yeah,
workbook or interactive journal or
yeah,
something. What do you think? What do you think?
yeah, that would be great. That would be great.
Mhm,
I did do a lot of drawing. I did a lot of late night drawing back,
mhm.
and painting back then, because I started out art journaling mostly with acrylics, and then I moved to canvases and stuff like that. And so, and like you mentioned, this was basically my therapy for postpartum depression,
Yeah.
and which took me on a self-discovery, because I went to my doctor and expressed what I was going through, and I did see a therapist, and they talked about medication, and I took it for a little bit, but I didn't want to be on medication, so I was like, okay, what else can I do?
Mm,
And I just started looking into, recommendations of things to do. And one of the things that was listed that caught my eye was connecting with things that you once loved. And at that time, being a young mother and having two young children, I was like, okay, yeah, I haven't really done anything that I connect with anymore, because I'm
mm,
just focused on being a mom and
full
taking
time.
care of them. And so I just started going and doing different things, and art was something, like I said, I knew that I enjoyed doing it and I did it well, but I just imagined that, okay, I would come back to it during retirement. Like
Right.
I would be one of
Or
those retirees who had taken watercolor
watercolor
classes, or,
class, right. Oil
or painting or something
painting,
like
yeah,
that.
the landscape,
Yes,
barns.
exactly.
That's depressing.
Yes.
That is so for you, that oh my God, that puts you in a tailspin right away. You're like,
Oh goodness.
"Oh
And
my
so
God."
I just remember thinking, well, why do you have to wait until then? Why don't you just do it now?
Yeah.
And so that's what I did. I started to get every book I could find. And this was probably at the beginning of YouTube. And I learned that there were YouTube videos of people who were showing, themselves creating their artwork. And so
Yeah.
that exposed me to different forms of art. And so I just started doing that. And that's where I found out about art journaling and
Mhm.
mixed media. And so that's kind of where I started from.
Interesting.
Yes. And so a lot of the things I was creating women, paintings of women, but it was also would probably include, some type of, affirmation or, uplifting quote, because that's what I needed.
Yeah,
at that particular time.
Yeah, totally. That's why I can teach all this stuff, because I've felt all these things. You know, when I teach people by your joy, it's like, oh yeah, that's what I should be focusing on. I would just want to read a comment. Sarah Jo Frieden says, that's a whole book right there. Journaling, creating, and dealing with postpartum depression, or any depression. So we should make a note of that. Riley, hi Riley. We're going to pop in Riley in a little bit, hopefully, if he can. He says, ooh, Homeroom Art Academy by Tequitia Andrews. For your homeschooling. Seriously, there's so much you can do. I love, and I want all of you that are listening, think about in your life, two major key things that Tequitia said. One is, what did you love when you were little? I mean, I played teacher and I drew, and that's it. And now here I am. And so think about that, everybody. And the other thing is, what do you have that you can leverage into something that other people would benefit from or enjoy? What do you have? What have you gone through? Or what are you passionate about? So this is all for you, something to think about, which you could also parlay into a toy or game. I'm obsessed with toy or game because Riley and I have been writing it for a year, so forgive me. And it starts on July 5th. That's a plug. Okay. So how did you go? So now you're drawing, go on with your story.
Oh, so I was doing the mixed media, and like when you introduced me and said that I dibbled and dabbled, that is true. I dibbled and dabbled in everything, because like YouTube, I think, really opened the window of, all different types of art. Because before, when I first started this, I'm thinking of the masters and, trying to do.
Which are so not us. Like, we're not old European white men.
Exactly.
That's drawing like naked ladies on chases. Sorry, Rubens. But that's
I'm thinking, that's my perspective of like what art is at the beginning. And so as I am, coming across all of these wonderful, talented artists, mostly women, I'm just like, like, oh, wow, you could do that. Oh, I didn't know you could do that. And so it was like a kid in a candy store where it's just like all of these different ways of creating art and looking at how the different art is and all that type of stuff. And so I dibbled and dabbled in everything. And I even thought early on, like, I would do children's illustration, because I was reading like a board book to one of my kids, and I was looking at the pictures and I was like, oh, I think I can do that. But I wasn't quite ready yet. I didn't really have the technical skills yet. But that was something that I was like, okay. And I actually, in my personal library, I have like a row of children's book illustration, technical books to kind of get me there. But I was like, okay, one day I'm going to get there. And so, but I've just been trying everything, and illustration was the one I felt like spoke to me the most as far as being able to express myself. And so
pick the right one.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, this is where I feel comfortable. I tried other things and I'm like, okay, I liked it a little bit, but I'm not really feeling like it's me. But illustration was the sweet spot for me. So that's how I got here. I would sell some of my artwork on Etsy. I took different classes.
What kind of classes? What kind of classes were they?
I've taken, I mentioned Danny Gregory. They have an online platform for teaching what his ideas are about creative license and everything. So they have watercolors and, sketchbook classes. I've also done Craftsy. what is that? Creative bug
Yep.
classes, which I saw one of your classes on creative bug a few years ago. And
Oh, wow, that's amazing. If I would have known when I was filming that, like, there's going to be this cool, fabulous woman who sees my class. She didn't take it, but she saw it.
yeah,
And then I'm going to be repping her. Wow. See,
yeah,
people, that's life. Crazy.
yeah.
Okay, go on. I'm trying not
Oh,
to
and Skillshare, I've done a ton. Like I
great.
have a regular membership of
Smart.
Skillshare
Yeah.
classes.
It's so great because those tend to be smaller and bite-sized, and you can
Yes.
work on a skill or a technique.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're doing all these different things, and then you get into working
Okay.
on your iPad.
Yes.
How did that happen?
That
Did I
happened.
miss a step?
Well, it's just one of those things, like I said, of involving. So I started to do illustration, but originally I started traditional way, like with watercolors.
Mhm.
That's kind of how I started into there. And then I moved up to doing Photoshop. And then I learned about the iPad, and I'm seeing everybody, putting all of these little videos on Instagram with this program called Procreate. And I'm like, what is that about?
Mhm.
And so I got an iPad and I got Procreate and I love it. One of the reasons it appealed to me, because I still have one little one. And so I could take it anywhere. I don't have to
Mhm.
necessarily, like with Photoshop, I was kind of tied to my desk, but with Procreate, I can take it on my iPad anywhere. So it was
Oh,
just the
great.
flexibility that appealed to me. And because I don't have like a large space, I do have a designated area for my work. I noticed like all my artwork was stacking up. Didn't know what to do with it. So I really like the digital format because it's a lot neater for me.
Totally. Well, no, that's real. That is real. I have flat file drawers full of my illustrations,
Yeah.
and it's like, and all you guys, it's like, yes, it's all in here, nice and
Yeah.
tight. Wow, lucky. I'm not jealous. I'm not jealous. Well, yeah, that's wonderful, and I think it works so well for you. Why don't we go to your work?
Okay.
Let's share the screen and check out the gorgeousness. I'm sure people are dying to see. Can everybody see? What did I do? What happened?
I think they can see. I'm seeing some, yes.
Oh, okay. I can't see anybody.
Yeah, they can see.
Oh, good. Okay. Um, So let me pull that over here. Oh, isn't this gorgeous? Can you still see it?
Yes.
Moved it.
Yeah,
Okay.
they can see
I'll
it.
resume share. Okay. You can see it. Isn't that gorgeous? Yes. Can you see it still?
Yes.
Okay, good. Isn't this beautiful? And you really understand her use of color and shapes and power and the body types. I love her people. We all do. We love her people. Um, the hair, the different black hairstyles, the body types, the plants, the vases, everything, the cup that says hello, the great big yellow earrings, which I want. Tell us about, so what was it like making this piece when you were announcing your webinar?
Well, I just think like it is, I don't know. I feel like some of my artwork is just like my alter ego
Mhm.
because I just recently became a plant mom. So I'm like obsessed with plants. And so I had to put the plants in there. And it's summertime. That's what I was feeling. It's, we're on the verge of going into the summertime. So I thought like she would look cool in her nice little bathing suit and sunglasses and big hoop earrings. And we're
Mhm.
going to have a chat. So I got my little cup of tea
Ah,
with hello, because we also collect mugs around here. So
mm,
um, I just feel like, you know, it's me. It's me putting myself in my work.
Well, you personalized it, is
Yeah.
what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
You got in the
And when I'm
role.
walking around the house after waking up, my hair looks like that a little bit.
I love it. My hair can't be big enough. Um, okay. I'm sure people are going to want to ask about your colors too. So this has more texture than some of your others. Love
Yes.
the lettering. That was one of the things, like, I need to see in an illustrator. I need to see that they can draw people, that they can do lettering is a giant plus, not required, but a plus. A range of imagery so that you did this animal. I think you did it after I took you on, maybe.
No, this one, it was the
Before?
earlier one that I did. I recolored him.
Okay.
And I think I may have added a little bit extra texture to him.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I just have this thing for drawing tigers in my little quirky way.
It
And
it's a stylization I have not really seen before. The face, it's just so great.
yeah, that was my yeah, I did that because also I have a dream of doing greeting cards. So sometimes I do images that I think would look cute on a nice little greeting card. And I send a lot of greeting cards too.
Well, that's good to know. Mhm. Okay. Love the sentiment. Will you explain
Yes.
this to us? Talk to us.
Yes.
Don't
One.
touch my hair.
Yes. I don't know if, well, actually, this one was a redo. And I was like, okay, basically, I wanted to funky it up a little bit from the original one. And I was just probably in some type of mood. Something probably happened. And basically, the ideas behind it is when it comes to a lot of African American women, especially those of us with natural hair, there
Mhm.
is this tendency for people to just put their hands in it without asking.
Yeah, to think
And
that,
so, yeah. And so it was like, no, don't do that.
right.
And
Like,
she has this big giant, you know, hair, which I find it would probably be irresistible for somebody to want to put their hair in it. But it's like, no, she's letting you know, don't do that. Don't touch
I
my
think
hair.
it's really a brilliant piece. I really, really do. And the flowers are so appealing on the hair, and it's so big. And it's such, without the don't touch my hair, it's a beautiful illustration.
Hmm.
But when it's don't touch my hair, suddenly it's so powerful.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. It's very powerful, and it's really well, it's about disrespect.
Yeah.
It's you would you do that to someone else? Would you just touch someone else in that
Yeah.
way? Right. Janice says, like, when you're pregnant,
Exactly.
people want to touch your belly. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly like that. Yep.
I really like your variety of color palettes too. How they're very, very varied. Okay. Talk to me about this gorgeous piece.
Yeah, this one basically is about two cool girls who are like, yeah, we're hot
Mhm.
and we got each other's back. That's what I think about when I see this is like, you know, I don't know if anyone has probably seen these reels or TikToks that are going on. I created this before then, but there's one that's going around where people are mouthing over a voiceover that says, "You see her. When you see her, you see me. When you see me, you see her." And it's like, don't
Wow.
mess with her. That's my best friend, and that's kind of like the sentiment here too. And I was thinking about it.
So wonderful. Yeah, it's like we're best friends, deal with it,
Yes.
right? And so
Yeah.
beautiful. It's and of course the hair, the
Yes.
authenticity in the hair, the
And the
importance of,
braids.
yeah, the importance of doing it with um authenticity, with accuracy, yet stylized. It's
Yeah.
fabulous. I love it. And there's attitude in the expressions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, she's a beauty.
This one was a part of Charlie Clements, who is an illustrator. She often does these faces challenges. And so she gives like prompts. Sometimes they're for a day. I think she's even had one for like 30 days, but she gives different prompts. And so this one, I think it was Flamingo Afro, and it might have been Bikini.
Wow, that's so fun. Wow, Riley, that's like our improv inventing. That's so great. It's beautiful. There's a really subtle, beautiful texture going on in the skin tone
Yeah.
and the background and the drink. Talk to me
Yeah.
about that.
It's a Procreate brush that I use that's kind of like cross hatching.
Mm.
And actually, I'm gonna tell you that I was inspired by your artist Erica Root. I think she's in the chat today,
Oh,
because
wow.
she does some texturing on
Mhm.
her artwork, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I don't know how she does it, but I was inspired actually by Erica because of that.
Well, she says, "Oh, Tequita," and hearts, heart, heart. And you were inspired, yet I didn't see it referential. I did not think, oh yeah, that looks like Erica. You were inspired, but then did it Tequita. You did.
Yeah,
It's just, and it's more of an all over. It's more of an even tone. It's really beautiful.
thank you.
Okay. I am crazy about this. This is one of the first ones that blew my mind of yours when I was stalking you. Talk to me about her.
This one, I actually created this one. It started with an illustration I had in my sketchbook, and I was doing a Zoom meetup with some other artists, um, and they had the prompt, I think, of just drawing someone. And so we were just sitting, chatting, getting to know each other over on Zoom during this, crazy year that
Mm.
we've been having. And I created her, and I was like, I kind of like her, so I'm gonna put her on my portfolio.
I love it. And also love a couple of things. Your design sensibility is so powerful. It's not easy to just do a head and shoulder piece. It's
Yeah,
not, but how you make the negative space has an interesting shape, and how she fills it, and her shape and her glasses, the tint behind the glasses is
yeah.
beautiful. And your use of color is part of the composition, like everything. It's just very bold. It works well big, it works well small. I also like how your lips are very luminous,
Yeah.
on your all your women. Okay, speaking of luminous lips,
Yes.
talk to me.
This one is, I call this like Sisterhood. And this was like a reference from a photo I got off of a Unsplash or something. And I just, excuse me, let me get a sip of water.
Okay. Hi, British Jenny, I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, so it's just three women consoling each other. I mean, it can be, I think you can look at it different ways. You can look at it as they're consoling each other because maybe the person in the middle is going
Mm.
through a tough time. Or you can just look at it as them just loving on each other to just say, I'm here for you.
Mhm.
And I just, experimented with the patterns as on their dresses. And I was trying to use a limited color palette
Right.
by splitting it between all three of them.
Wh-
But
What's so interesting too is your control. There's so much control. Like it's like there are two things going on. It's obviously right away, it's the emotional content of, like you said, are they
yeah,
consoling, or are they just loving each other, or what is
yeah,
it? But at this, and then it's about the earrings, the lips,
yeah,
and the clothing. So it's very stylish too, but you've got like the skin tones and the hair tones are one thing, and then
yeah.
the bright colors are another. It's beautiful. You have a lot of control in your colors. Okay, talk to me about Cricut, this gig.
Yeah, so that was awesome. That was a really big surprise. I got an email and you get emails from people. It was interesting because they couldn't tell me a lot about it beforehand.
Right.
And so I was like, is this legit?
Sure.
I didn't even
And
know
now
who the
you've an
client
agent,
was.
so now you've an agent, so we'll vet everything for you.
So I didn't really know if it was legit, but I was like, okay. And
Mhm.
then they just told me that they saw my work and was interested in me working with them on their Black History campaign.
Mhm.
And so then it was after I met with them on Zoom. Well, they had like a middle man type of person dealing that handles their ads and everything. And we met on Zoom and they showed me everything and what they wanted to
Mhm.
do. And so they wanted illustrations of different people,
Mhm.
various ages throughout different points of history. And so
Oh,
that's what you have kind of going on here. The man at the top, he is more representative of like maybe the early 1800s or so.
mhm.
Then we have someone who could possibly be in the 70s, 80s, and modern times. So that's what we have going on here. And so
Mm.
this was actually done in vector. And we
Like an Illustrator or just on the
yeah, I
iPad?
use Illustrator for this. So this was me also using some skills that I learned on Skillshare because they wanted to actually as well have that texture that you see in my work to come across in the vector format. And so being that I mainly used Photoshop or Procreate, um, I I had to learn how to get that textury feel that I
Wow.
do in those programs over on the vector format.
No, wait, they didn't. Oh, because Procreate's not vector, huh?
No, it's roster.
Oh, damn.
So
That's too bad. Um, yeah, because this is scalable.
yes,
You're scalable. Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So this
Oh,
was
so you like up and had to learn Illustrator, all this. Wow, that's
oh
amazing.
yeah, I did have to learn some things on here. I actually you see a slight pattern in the background of that image, the
Mhm.
squiggly lines. That was I created those as well. So they wanted the illustrations and also some patterns that would go kind of like a frame. They had these frames
Mm,
that they because it was highlighting different people in the community and their work. And so they would have like a photograph on them on social media or on their page here
mhm.
where they were highlighting them.
Yes,
So,
that's wonderful.
and
Wow.
they included me as well. So that was
They put you
awesome.
in as one of the highlight
Yes,
people?
yes.
Fantastic.
And
Fantastic.
and as a being as a part of being the artist on here, my local news station, they featured
Oh,
me on the news.
great.
So
Wow, that's
that
so
was
good.
all cool.
That was all good. When was this?
This was in February. This was I
Like
was on the
this
news
year.
probably in late February.
Boy, everything came your way.
Yeah.
And then we started chatting.
Yes.
Yeah. I love the patterns and the color palettes. We have to talk about you doing a home decor line and also a bolt fabric store fabric line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at these patterns. I love the big monstera leaf, the
Yeah.
palm leaf on the pink, and then the woman on the bottom right too, her pattern and the colors. Yeah, we have to talk about that. Did you get that, Kim? Kim's in our background.
Yep, got it.
Good, good. Okay. I am nuts about this. I am nuts about this. And I love your lettering. I love the composition. You know what you don't just do one thing and then stop. Like I'm doing the lettering, and I'm going to do these roses, which are different from the background, and then the hair is a different feel. The earrings are very graphic. The black shape of the coat is very graphic. It's a really, really strong image. And talk to me about the meaning and power of this.
Well, normally I would try to do like a daily project of illustrations for Black History. And so last year I started and I got sick, so I couldn't finish. And then this past year I was busy in a good way. And so I couldn't do anything, but I was like, I have to do something for Black History Month. And so
Required.
yes, and I did this and I did this and it was just a feeling like a lot of times when I put something on like this on my artwork, it's really just me, just like my thoughts, and I'm speaking, you know, because I'm not shy, but I'm introvert, and you know, sometimes I don't do a lot of this type of talking, you know, up front and personal, but it's a way for me to express myself and what I'm feeling. And so this was what I was feeling at that time, is that, you know, I am Black History because I am history in the making, me, you know, living my life right now. I am Black history. I mean, a lot of these people that we celebrate for Black history, that's what they were. They weren't thinking, okay, I'm going to be, you know, someone for history books. It was just that they were living their lives, and as a way of them living their lives, they were creating history. And so that's what it was, kind of like also a realization for myself that, hey, you know, you may not be able to talk about these wonderful people that you want to illustrate right now, but hey, you are making history yourself.
Yeah, exactly. By being the Black experience, by being in this time, by living this challenge, you are Black history.
Yeah.
I love it. It's beautiful. And I can't even fully articulate the power. Maybe someone in the chat can. Lynn Gain says, well said, Tequitia. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, talk to me. A beautiful portrait, beautiful.
Yeah, this one I actually redid this one. This is one that when she passed away, we were on vacation in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and I just drew this in my sketchbook, just thinking about her. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to digitize it and put some color to it. It was something that, a quote from her that I like, because that stood out to me, because sometimes we're going through difficult things, or just living our lives, and we're just not thinking about other people. And I think this past year, you know, all the things that were going on during the pandemic about wearing a mask, not wearing a mask, all that type of stuff, I just felt like it was also timely, you know, because we did have to think about other people besides ourselves.
So true. Yeah, yeah. Wow, so much. Greg Vineyard says, I'm not crying, you're crying. I'm not crying. I'm not crying, you're crying. So beautiful. And we have experienced so much in the past couple years.
Yeah.
First with Me Too,
Yeah.
Black Lives Matter, the pandemic. I think it helped mature this country and woken up so many people.
Yeah.
All of us have learned and grown, no matter how much we were woke. So it's just been incredible.
I feel like the past year for me, if anything, it has taught me that I just need to love people. You know, I just need to love people. That's my job requirement.
Beautiful.
Is just to love people.
Yeah.
You know, I was kind of like repeating that to myself. Just love people. Just love people.
You know, and your work, while it's political, it's powerful, it's transcendent, because probably your just love people motto. You should letter that. You should letter that.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
Yeah, of course.
Tina and the legs.
Yes. And I had to put those legs in there. And I felt like this was, you know, she had a documentary that was on HBO, and I felt a special connection to her, you know, thinking about creating art that means something to you is because she was a artist that my uncle, he really loved her. I was introduced to Tina Turner's music through him, and it just brought me back to my childhood and him coming home with like her album. I think it was Private Dancer, and just like playing it, and we were dancing like in the living room. And so, and I really liked that quote from her. And I was like, I gotta put those legs. I gotta show Tina's legs.
Yes.
She was known for those legs, those stunning legs.
Yeah, it's so true. By the way, if you comment, make sure you've selected panelists and attendees. Otherwise, it just goes to the panelists, to me and Tequitia and Kim. Okay, it's beautiful. This, you know, a fresh color palette, fresh, different from what I've seen. Like you don't rest on your laurels. You don't just regurgitate.
No.
The drawing of the hand is beautiful. The taupey brown color of the skin tone, and then the purple line, very fresh. And the pink nails, and there's texture in the nails. Then the lettering is so fabulous. I love your signature, by the way. I meant to say that. It's got a lot of style. Talk to me about this.
This one I did for St. Patrick's Day. And again, thinking about greeting cards is why I did this one. I was like, okay, I think this would make a cute little greeting card or poster or something like that, you know. And picking up 4-leaf clovers, that was something I remember trying to do all the time as a child.
Yeah, looking and looking and looking and looking through the
and being jealous of your friend who would actually find a 4-leaf clover, and you're like, I can't find one.
Or the kid that found you look at it and like, you ripped one of the leaves to make it look like 4, but that was 3. Busted, right? This is so gorgeous. That's all I say. I click to the next slide and I go, this is so gorgeous. So Unbroken Record, but it is composition, just it's fabulous. It's just great. Okay, talk to me. What made this happen?
This one, I created this one because I was just thinking it was a lot going on. I think probably social media wise. And so I just had to like take a breather. It was a point where I just like, I need to step away from all of this. So I stopped watching like the news and just kind of skipped over anything that was just like crazy. And that's where I was. I didn't have my plants yet, but that's where I was imagining that it would be like for me. Because originally, I think when I put this in my sketchbook, I was going to have the title of the book was going to be How to Talk to People, because I was planning that this was going to be in reference to being in quarantine for so long that we're just all going to be like so awkward when it comes back to face-to-face meetings and so forth. But then I changed it to this because it's like, okay, I'm just minding my little business right here in my place.
It's brilliant.
For my peace of mind.
Yeah, conceptually so brilliant, really. It's I'm glad you explained that too, because that brings a deeper I was just looking so much at the visual.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful. Okay. And don't forget, we're going to have a giveaway of a print of Tequitia's and also a free My Toy Pitch class. So be sure to stay for the end. Talk to me about this one.
I just did this one for Mother's Day, and I just love it. I just wanted Mom to be in the center and everyone doting and paying attention to her. And I like that it's a whole family unit, you know, Mom and Dad because, you know, for African Americans, sometimes you don't really see like the whole family together
So
like
true.
this. So,
Mhm.
so I made it a special point to show that
Mhm. Mhm.
their
It's
love for her,
wonderful.
the gifts and the plants,
So great.
and reminded me of my Mother's Day.
Aw. So you did this recently. We talked
Yes,
about it and you changed it up
yes,
and
I did.
and it's like all of us at the agency just were blown away. We love it so much. I mean, for a billion reasons, we'd love it. A journal turned into a journal cover. The lettering, the concept, the hair, the layout. This is
Yeah,
great. It's great.
yeah. I like you said, we talked about it. I've always I liked the faces. I knew that I wanted to keep the faces in there and
Right.
the hairstyle, showing the different hairstyles and everything. And it originally was a pattern with a little bit more other elements. But then I was like, okay, keeping in mind, like, okay, if I saw a journal, if I was looking for a journal, what would make me stop and be like, okay, I gotta buy that journal. And that's what I did.
I love that. That's such a great paradigm to hold up for in creating your work. Like, what would I buy? What do I? Well, for me, it was like, what would I put on my wall? Stop
Yeah,
thinking about what other people may or may not like, and
yeah,
dumbing down, or should it be this, that? It's like, Lilla, what do you want to make? And just
yeah.
make my own thing.
Well,
Okay.
you know, I was afraid of that for a while when you
Hmm.
said that about creating what you like and not dumbing it down and everything.
Hmm.
I was afraid of that for a long time.
Of
And I think
course.
like 2020, it was just one of these times where I was just like, okay,
I can.
I am just gonna create whatever I want. I don't care.
Yeah, I can be a powerful Black woman. It's okay now.
Yeah.
Not only is it okay, it's embraced, it's encouraged, it's, it's valued, and it is a change. And and I'm glad to see it. Okay, talk to me about these beautiful book covers.
Yeah, now that one was an absolute surprise because I got an email out of the blue, and by the art director for these covers, and not just one cover but three covers, and
Amazing. Who's the
by
publisher?
HarperCollins is the
Top.
publisher,
Hmm.
and I was just like blown away by this. And Rita Williams Garcia as well. Um, you know, she is a talented writer. Um, and so yeah, I have them right here. But yes, there are three different book covers. I read each of these books and just kind of, this was a redesign, by the way. These were originally published probably a little while ago, and so they wanted to freshen up the covers, basically make them a little bit more modern, because they were doing a relaunch of them for summer reading. And so these were all exciting to do.
Unbelievable. You're perfect for book covers because your work is very graphic and poster-like, and the emotional content that you do so much with the eyes and the
Yeah.
body language. Yeah,
The
yeah.
lettering, I did the lettering as well on here. So
Oh, great. It's
that
really
was
great.
also, and the patterns. I love doing the patterns, especially on this one here. I like
Mhm.
putting those patterns in. So yeah, that was fun.
Yeah,
I
well, you
really
did a
like
great
it.
job. Okay, this was done for Illustrating Children's Book Class.
Yes.
And I love these spots. You don't have a lot of spots. So I really wanted to include this. And of course, the color palette, the lettering, it's fabulous. I'm going to move along. And we're now in the children's section of the
Yes.
show. So when we started working together, I'm like, I want to see more kids, new
Hmm.
kids. And of course, you crushed it instantly. This is expressions. I love the lettering of hairstyles, by the way. The expressions, the hair, the skin tones are varied, as people are. Their cute little bodies and the prints. It's fabulous. And this one, it just, I mean, that kid at the bottom, just
Yeah.
the missing tooth and is like winking and his hat and
Yeah,
all
you
of
know
that.
he's mischievous.
You know, he's trouble but lovable. He's a great character, and I could see a children's book art director wanting. In fact, I'd love you to develop him some more and maybe do him in different expressions, poses, mischief. I would love
Okay.
that. Will you make a note of that?
Yes.
That would be really, I would love that to pitch. Okay, then we talked about, will you do some children's book illustrations that are more narrative, more things going on than just
Yeah.
like a person. And you had an idea to do from your childhood. Was this you singing as a child?
Yes, I was having a conversation with Riley once, and I was telling him as a kid, I used to go out on my front porch and just sing. I would pretend like the lawn was like my audience, and I would just go out there and sing. And I used to have a few passerbys that would look at me weirdly.
No way. Oh my God, that's great. I love how you gathered up like there's a kid, but a dog and even a stuffed animal
Yeah,
to be part, like just to get anyone,
yeah.
the
They're
boombox.
my
So
audience.
you had done this and we talked about putting text on it of her
Yes.
singing to help tell the story and also your beautiful lettering. And I love how you varied the size of the letters, the words is really nice, like lift every voice and sing. It's good. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Love it. Yeah. And then talk to us about this last piece and then we're going to do a
Yeah.
giveaway.
Yeah, this one also from my childhood. I was in a school spelling bee, and I made it to first runner up basically. But I won the spelling bee in my class, and then got to compete in the school one to see who would go off to, I guess, the next level. So yeah, this is just me using my childhood to kind of jump off some ideas for children's books.
Masha says it's a small story and a drawing. And you wonder what's going on between these two kids. Like, why is number 5 kind of bummed? Is he jealous? Did you crush him? And you're looking at him askance. I love the chairs. The chairs are beautiful. And I love the sign and the shadow behind the sign. And of course, your colors are extraordinary. It's just fantastic. Okay, I'm going to stop the share. Here we are. Good. That was wonderful. If anybody has any questions, you can pop them up in the Q&A really quickly. Oh, Erica says, I feel like you don't want to make him sad by winning the bee. Could that be it?
That could be it.
That could be it. Sometimes you draw and you don't even know what it is. Like
Yeah.
it has its own life. And then you're
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah, that's what that's about. You want to hold up your poster?
Oh yeah.
Giveaway? We're going to move into the giveaway.
Yeah, so
portion.
I'm giving away this Don't Touch My Hair print.
So great.
And I also have like the sticker pack that Fun Folks license some of my artwork. So there's like 6 vinyl stickers.
Oh, wow.
So this is like, I look at these and say, this is kind of like an evolvement of my work, because it has like my watercolors that I did previously. Skating, we talked about this privately beforehand.
Right.
So these are like pen and ink watercolors.
So earlier work.
Yeah.
Wow, so great.
And this
Where
is
can people buy these?
Actually, I believe that they are in probably some local gift shops throughout the country. Don't have the specific stores or anything, but I believe they're in some local gift shops. This one is like the first iteration of this.
Yeah. Oh, Bloom You Where You Are. See, look how you did Bloom Where You Are, and then you did Don't Touch My Hair.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
Another skating. So yeah, I'm giving away all of that.
Oh, that's wonderful. And a free My Toy Pitch course,
Yes.
which you can get on go to makeartthatsells.com and sign up. How many of you are already in that class? Signed up for July 5th. Speaking of which, I want to pop up, Kim, I'd like to pop up Riley. Oh, look, we already have people in it. Yes, we already do have quite a few in there. I'd love to pop up Riley. Is that okay, Riley? And I'm going to ask, oh, he says yes. Okay. So, Kim, if you could pop him up on the screen. And while he's popping, Laura Carrillo says, Tequita, I'm self-taught too and so happy for you. Do you have any favorite Skillshare classes that you recommend?
Oh, there's so many.
Oh, sorry, I had to
Riley!
adjust my lens. Okay, hold on a second.
Oh, to get to
Hi, Riley.
Hi, Riley.
Got to show off the giant pencil.
I know.
Hello,
Hi.
hello, Tequita. Congratulations, welcome. It's so good.
Thank you.
Hey, Lilla.
Hey, babe. I'm gonna see you later, right?
Of course,
Or
it's
Riley
Friday.
Day.
It's Lilla Riley
Friday. The highlight of my week. So I have a question for Tequita. Like, have you ever thought of designing a toy or game? And is that, like you have 5 children,
Yeah.
you've probably bought 1 billion toys in your life, you
Yes.
understand kids.
Yes.
Is there something have you ever had a dream of a toy or game?
I'll write this down.
I think for one thing, during this past quarantine, our family, like I'm sure a lot of families, we brought a ton of games for like family game night and stuff. I think one of the biggest things for me would be to create something that would be enjoyable for like all ages, because that was like the toughest thing. And because we have this age range that we have in our house,
Which is
like 6 as far as the kids is 6 to 23. So it has to be something that's fun for the older kids, that they don't feel like it's dumbed down for them. And also something for the younger ones where, they understand and are having a good time too. For us, that typically meant we played charades a lot, because we did have a stack of charades that had the picture, because she hadn't learned how to read yet, but it had the picture and then it had different, like easy to hard types of prompts for older ones. So yeah. But we didn't do a lot of board games because there just wasn't, it was either not enough for as many people we had, or she didn't really get the rules,
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So maybe doing some sort of charade.
Yeah.
A charade game, and you
Something
pick
cool.
cards, and it's like with an emphasis on Black culture.
Yeah, maybe.
What do you think, Rye?
Well, to start, I already have a running list, Tequita.
Okay.
You do? Can you reveal a few?
So one of them I think has to do with expressions and feelings and faces.
Okay.
But all Black children.
Okay.
There's another idea based on those 2 illustrations that Lilla just showed of you on stage, and then the spelling bee. And there's one, hold on, let me look at my board, Lilla. Yeah, there's one more. Anyway, I have a list. And what you just said about charades and games, everyone is saying that because they've got a 6-year-old and a 19-year-old. And they're like, well, we can't play Risk.
Right.
We don't want to play hopscotch. Well, you do because you're 6, but what do we all do? Lilla and I have been talking about that, and we've been working on some concepts that sort of address that. It's so great to hear it from a mom, because I keep reading about it as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because we brought a ton, and a lot of them kind of fell flat because it was like, this isn't working for everybody. Everybody's enjoying themselves, and unfortunately I think most of them were geared to older people than mainly the young. We do have like Candyland, but that was over real quick.
Yeah, yeah. I don't even think it's fun when you're 6.
They
I mean,
need
it's
carb land.
beautiful.
For adults, they need carbohydrate land,
Yeah.
I think. I'll play that one. Wait, I already do.
Yeah, I mean, it is beautiful. Well, I think that's so wonderful. So you have a bunch of ideas, Rye.
Yeah, and you know, hearing you talk about dramatic play, which charades is, and Lilla, what you just said about culture, there's something there.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to explore that some more.
Mm-hmm.
We will.
Should book a time with Riley. Book a time.
I'll get to see you again.
Get cracking. So people, this is sort of like your sort of witness to agenting process in the real, in real life, IRL. Yeah,
And the improv inventing that we do, Lilla, we get together, we take an idea, we take another idea, and come up with a concept.
Yeah, which is in the course where every week you do an improv inventing with, I grab random weird oddities from my drawer over here. And I'm like, okay, Riley, no pressure, but invent a brilliant toy. And he does. It's really, really, it just shows you how you can invent. Do you want to just say what the toy course is in a nutshell?
Yeah, well, it's
do the giveaway of the toy course.
So as a student, we will walk you through, not literally walk you through, take you through 5 categories. So imagine a giant store, 5 aisles, 5 categories. We're going to give you examples of products in the marketplace, beautiful mood boards, and assignments in each one of those categories so that on Monday, you're introduced to what it is. By the time you get to the end of the week, you have created a pitch, and the categories are easy to understand, but they give you as an artist a lot of latitude, and it's really a way for you to take your art and turn it into a toy. It's really robust. Robust is the word that I keep using because Lilla, you know, there's so much content. We can hardly keep track sometimes. I'm like, okay, what week is that? Which interview with a VIP is that? Yeah.
Well, we worked on it for a year. Every week, every Friday. So it's kind of insane, but it's not too much though. And you know what I do, everybody? I give it in increments. The whole first thing when Riley and I would chat and I'd begin to understand the depth of his knowledge is how can we what do they need at the end? They need pitches. The students need pitches. How can we structure it so it's easy and not overwhelming and bit by bit by bit and build? So, okay, so why don't we give a free class and a free poster and those fabulous stickers. I want a sticker for my phone.
Stickers, they're everywhere. Stickers are like the thing.
I know, it's the thing. Okay, so so everybody, here's how the giveaway goes. You can guess, I will say a category, and then you can guess as often as you want and whatever. And Kim is going to keep an eye on the correct answer, but it may not be the first correct answer because they go quickly. So it is what it is. You get what you get and you don't get upset. Did you used to say that to your kids, Tequitia?
Yeah.
Yeah. You get what you get. You don't get upset. And they would just like go, oh, okay. Like it worked. For some reason, they bought it. Okay, is everybody ready for a giveaway? And if you already signed up for the course, you just talk to Louise at Make Art That Sells, and I guess she'll give you credit or give it to a friend or I don't know, whatever. So it is a color that Tequitia loves. A color Tequitia loves. And this is for the free course and the posters and stickers. Oh, I thought people would get it right away. I'm not seeing it. Not seeing it.
No, I haven't
I'd
seen
say
it
the
yet
first.
Anyone yell out if you see it.
Okay, I'm going to tell you the
I don't
first
see it yet.
letter. It's, oh, there it is, Wendy.
Oh,
Wendy,
okay, right.
turquoise.
Oh, wow, I missed it.
Wendy.
Oh, yeah, I see it now. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, Wendy. Yay, Wendy.
Yay.
I see turquoise. I see some
Yeah.
turquoise in that one.
Oh, it's
Yeah, that's one of mine.
I swiped that
So-
one from my
So
phone.
Wendy, write to hello@makeartthatsells.com. That's Louise. Say that you won the toy course in the Tequitia Zoom, and she will set you up. Fantastic. Are we all good? Kim, did I do everything I'm supposed to do?
Yeah, I think you
Did
did.
everything right? We're
Yeah.
good? Is everybody good? Okay. Boot campers, I'm going to do a pop in one of these days. I swear to you, I've just, been nuts. But I want to in the next week or two before class starts. Thank you everyone for attending. Really appreciate you all being here. Thank you so much, Tequitia. It was
Thank you.
absolutely, I loved getting to know you even more. It was so rich and so beautiful. And Riley, thank you for taking the time to pop in.
Of
And
course, it's nothing but fun.
it's nothing but fun. Everything is a game.
Everything's a game.
Everything is a game. And I will talk to you soon, Riley, okay?
We'll see you later.
A few minutes or so. Thank you, everyone, and we will see you again another time. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.